Hello, video time. Quick update, 18th of December, so quick roundup of the last week or so, what's happened in LFC world. Starting off with that match, home to Watford last Saturday, 2-0 win. Doesn't really tell the full story. Bit of a struggle. Watford missed a couple of big chances, just showing really why they're down right at the bottom. Mo Salah popped up. Bit more goal scoring form from him lately, which is good to see him coming back in. Obviously, Mane's been really the main man so far this season, but yeah, Salah's starting to chip in and win us some points, which is excellent. So yeah, it's obviously his first goal, unbelievable goal on the counter attack, chopping with his left, cutting in on his right foot and bending it in the top bins, which was awesome. And then that second goal, the kind of back flick from the Origi shot, really good improvisation from Salah. Yeah, that was sort of wrapped it up. The VAR was a bit annoying. So they checked the Salah goal and it was, millimetres again, and they gave it. The Mane one they didn't, which I think there needs to be a change with the offside rule, which has been mentioned ahead of maybe the next season, when there's got to be pure daylight between the two players rather than 0.1 millimetre of a butt cheek or a foot is offside. It's there's no advantage gained from something under a centimetre offside, so there needs to be some sort of rule, I think, brought in where either there's daylight or there's a minimum distance, or you need to be offside by 5 centimetres for it to count. If it's 2 centimetres, it's fine. If it's under a centimetre, it's fine, because it's getting really silly. We're looking for any excuse to disallow a goal, which is kind of opposite of football. You want goals, and if you can't tell with the naked eye that it's offside, VAR was meant to be checking the obvious errors, which it's not. It's it's just disallowing goals ridiculously. No one wanted VAR to come in to disallow goals that are you have to draw 2 lines on a pitch to decide. It's just silly. So hopefully VAR gets changed. Offside rule gets updated, and VAR can kind of accommodate it a little bit better, because at the moment it's even the celebrations, it's everyone's like, oh, just waiting, is it going to be given, is it not? It's just that initial burst of of excitement when a goal goes in is now being taken away. So I'd like to see that updated ahead of the the 2020-21 season. So fingers crossed, watch this space. Obviously the Champions League draw was then on Monday. Atletico Madrid, probably the one I wanted the least, alongside Real. Obviously, the 2 biggest teams in the draw. Dortmund were the other one, and then really you wanted Atalanta or Lyon, didn't you? But yeah, it is what it is. I think we had Bayern in the last 16 last year, and 0-0 at home and 2-0 away, so it can be done. We can beat them. They've got some good players. Obviously, Oblak in goal is brilliant, but we got 7 goals against Roma in the semi-final a couple of years ago with Alisson in goal, so we can score against top quality goalkeepers. They've got really good midfield of Koke and Sal, Niguez, and obviously João Felix up top as well, which is, again, really, really, really strong. So that'll be a really hard game. I would back us to go through, but it's not going to be easy. They're a difficult team to score against. I think they were 2-0 winners against Juventus last year and lost 3-0 in the away leg, something like that. I think Ronaldo might have got a hat-trick to get them through. So they are beatable. At home, they're very strong. Maybe, at Anfield, second leg, whatever we need to do, you would hope we could do it based on the Barcelona 4-0. So I would back us in that draw. Hopefully we get the winner of the Valencia-Atalanta game in the quarterfinals. A bit like last year, how we ended up with Porto after Bayern. You should have really been the other way around. But yeah, it could have been better. But you're in the Champions League for a reason. You play these teams, you knock them out, you make it as far as you can. So quickly go through the rest of the draw. Obviously, I mentioned Valencia-Atalanta. I would expect Valencia to go through. Dortmund-PSG is a cracker. So difficult to call, isn't it? Because obviously PSG don't really have any challenge in their own league, and they've not got past the last 16 of the Champions League either, as far as I'm aware. So Dortmund have more difficult league games, but again, they've not done much since reaching the final, have they? In 2012, I think it was, when they lost to Bayern Munich. So it's a difficult one to call. Push, I'd go PSG based on the Mbappe factor, but Jadon Sancho is doing absolute bits for Dortmund as well. So that will be a good one. Real Madrid Man City is obviously the other big English-Spanish tie, sorry. Yeah, Madrid joint top of the league with Barca. I think they play tonight in the Clásico, which will be interesting. So they seem to be in better form than recent years, league-wise. Man City, obviously, up and down, but by the time February comes around, you would expect maybe Laporte to be back in the team. Sané potentially. I'm not too sure how bad his injury was, but Laporte would be a big boost. So yeah, I would probably, if pushed, I'd probably back Man City in that one. They tend to struggle against the English sides, so maybe if we get through, we'll meet again. Who knows? But yeah, Chelsea Bayern was another one. I can't see anything but a Bayern win on that one. Chelsea form-wise poor, depending on who they get in January, could decide it. But I can't see them getting anyone that special at this stage. So I would expect Bayern Munich to go through current form. They haven't got a manager still, but Lewandowski against that back four of Chelsea is going to be, I think he's going to be getting some goals. So I would back Bayern. Lyon Juventus, it's Juventus all day long, isn't it? Spurs Leipzig is an interesting one. Timo Werner's absolutely on fire. Tottenham are very, very, very hard to predict, aren't they? They're very inconsistent. Mourinho knows how to win in Europe. He won the Europa League and the Champions League twice, I think, yeah, with Porto and Inter. Obviously the Europa with United. So yeah, that's more difficult to call than it looks, but I would probably back Spurs if pushed, just based on I know more about them. And Leipzig, I know they're top of the German league, but their pedigree in Europe's obviously not great, and Spurs reached the final last year, so you would expect Spurs maybe to progress. And the last one being Napoli and Barcelona. Again, I mean, Napoli at home is strong, but obviously they've just lost Ancelotti. I would expect Barcelona to comfortably progress in that one. So yeah, potential quarterfinals of Liverpool, Valencia, PSG, Man City, Bayern, Juventus, Spurs and Barca. And then obviously all bets are off. Any country can get any country, any group can get any group from the group stage. So that would be good. So yeah, it comes back around in February time. So a little bit of a wait for that. But yeah, I'm excited for the two games with Atletico. We go away first, home second. So fingers crossed we can get over the line with that one. The fixture list hopefully will have calmed down a bit by then, and we can move on. Obviously, off the back of last night, we're currently in that crazy 2 games in 2 days at the moment. Obviously, we lost 5-0 to Aston Villa last night in the Carabao quarter-final, which is really unfair. We had absolutely no chance. I think we had 2 16-year-olds, 3 17-year-olds and 4 18-year-olds involved. I mean, average age of 19, I think it was. Aston Villa's average age was 28. They might not have played their first team, from the Premier League, but one started, and they still had a few internationals in that team, and people that have been involved in the Premier League this season as well. So yeah, I didn't expect much. I wouldn't have said they would have lost 5-0, but looking at the players, I didn't even know some of them. I mean, I know that you had Elliot Vandenberg based on the transfers from the summer. Obviously, Kelleher, but I mean, some of the players are obviously Hoover's a very good player, I think, and we will be. Still only 17, but yeah, some of them players, I literally have never heard of them. Some of the 17, 16-year-olds that were coming on as a sub, I mean, they looked like they were, obviously they might even still be in school. It's just, I think it's really unfair that we've had to play that game. I understand the reasons for it. I understand it's not a priority, and I just hope that there would be something in the future to avoid this happening again. So either scrap the Carabao Cup or change the World Club Championship dates. It's scheduled in December, which is the busiest time of the season for European clubs, or at least English clubs. Maybe join the Carabao Cup to the Football League trophy and have it just for the Football League, and not include the Premier League as a team, something like that, because it's just too much. Obviously, the FA Cup's fine because it's based on every other weekend or every couple of weekends come Jan, but the Carabao just gets in the way, doesn't it? Midweek games, clashes, so not brilliant that we had to get absolutely battered, but obviously those kids would have learnt from the experience. But it is a shame that they had to have such a harsh lesson, I think, and we couldn't field a little, maybe half a good team and half the youngsters. So that was a shame. But we move on to tonight, the World Club Championship semi-final with Monterrey. Flamengo progressed to the final last night, beating, I think it was Al Hilal. Saudi Arabian Asian champions lost 3-1. They were winning 1-0 at half-time, and Flamengo turned it around really well in the second half. So they looked good second half, but still, I don't think we've got that much to worry about. I mean, if we can't come out of this tournament with the trophy, then there are problems. I mean, all right, do you want to win the Premier League or the Premier League all day long? But, like Klopp said, we've not flown 3,000 miles for nothing. We've come here to win it. So that leads me on to the teams. I'm really torn with who he's going to play tonight. I'm really not sure. He's got 3 options, isn't he? He's either going to go full strength, 100%. This is my best team. Let's not risk going out in the semi-final, or we still have a third place playoff. But we've come all this way. Let's not play Mo and Mane and go out, for example. So, or will he just go completely, give every single person that's travelled a chance and at least one start? Or will he do a bit of in between? Will he play half the strength, half the first team, half the second team? It's a difficult call. It's really, really hard. So, I've kind of done two lineups just in case he does go and give everyone a game. Based on who's gone, I think it's a 20-man squad. I think a few of the boys from last night have gone to join up, but I can't see them featuring. So tonight's match, I've gone, in case he does go 2-2, I've gone Adrian, Williams, Gomez, Van Dijk and Milner across the back 4. Henderson sitting, Lallana and Chamberlain in the midfield, Shaq on the right, Jones on the left and Origi through the middle. Possibly, obviously, maybe bringing on a Mane or a Salah if needed, or maybe dropping 1 or 2 in with half of that team, just to kind of a rotation. And, obviously the final's only 3 days after, so you don't want to go full on first team in both games. So I expect a bit of a mixture. Obviously the final, you would expect your Alisson, Trent, Gomez, Van Dijk, Robbo, Hendo, Keita possibly. Gini, I'm not sure. He's the only question mark. He's travelled, so you would expect he could at least play on Saturday if required. But if he's got an injury and a knock, we've got enough midfielders to cover him. So if he's fit, he'll play in the final. If he's not, we've got Chamberlain that can come in. So Salah, Firmino and Mane probably going to be starting up top in the final if we get there. You might obviously Gomez, Van Dijk and Henderson are the 3 I've picked in both teams, only because there is no one else that can play there. So expect Henderson to maybe be rotated with someone over the games, maybe Milner or Chamberlain, sort of playing half and half, 60 and 30, something like that. So it's a really, really tough one to call. It depends what he thinks of Monterrey. I think they're currently 8th in the Mexican League. So they're not in the form they were before when they won the North American Champions League. So yeah, I would expect a comfortable game. It kicks off at 5:30 tonight. I would expect us to go through no matter what team we put out. The way Shaqiri can cross a ball, Origi's deadly in the box. Maybe Jones will start. Maybe he'll put a Mane on there, and maybe swap him with Salah halfway through. Something like that. We shall see. It's really, really hard to call how important he's going to take this. So I'll leave that one there. We'll catch up with that one. Hopefully, once, as I say, we've got the actual trophy in the bag as well. Other news. The last little bit is the Minamino medical is today. So as of a rule change, he will actually be available for the Champions League knockout stages, even though he's featured for Red Bull Salzburg already in the tournament. So that's really, really good. I think we had a situation similarly in 2005 when Morientes came in Jan. He'd already played for Madrid or Monaco in the group stage, and he couldn't play, and he sat and watched the rest of the campaign on the bench, cup tied, which is really silly. So I'm glad they've updated that. If you sign a player, surely they can play for you, depending on who they've featured, who they've played for, who they've represented previously. So that's pretty much it from me today. Obviously, make sure to watch the game tonight, 5:30. The final's on Saturday, 5:30 if we get there, against Flamengo. So fingers crossed. Come on, Red Men. Let's get a win, and we'll do a catch-up soon after that. And Merry Christmas to all. Take care.